Spinning of coir yarn on traditional ratt, charka. Cleaning of coir fiber before spinning into coir yarn. The coir fibers are first cleaned by hand from nose fibers, bits of husk, etc. This loosened fiber sprinkled with water is passed through a winnowing machine for removal of the last traces of pith on it. The coir fiber passed through this machine having revolving combing nails or blades and is obtained as clean, and the fibers are more or less parallel. The winnowing machine is rotating at high speeds and consists of a high number of iron nails fitted on a drum. When it rotates, the fiber passes through the front side and the fibers which moves come in front of the drum. And the drum rotates very speedy, and then the pith and the dirt from the fiber removes and it fell down as sheet forms. The coir fiber will be cleaned with removing dirt and rust. This is smooth coir fiber for slaver making. This is then rolled into slivers which are used for spinning on coir spinning wheel or traditional ratt, motorized traditional ratt, motorized ratt and automatic spinning machines. Most of the coir yarn is spun from mixed fiber from retted husks, although certain qualities known as unsoaked or beach yarn are also produced from fiber out of unsoaked or partially soaked green husks. Spinning of coir fiber on traditional ratt. The spinning of coir fiber into yarn takes place exclusively in coastal villages as household cottage industry. The coir yarn is usually spun into 2-ply and 3-ply yarns. The spinning of coir fiber is done either by hand or by the use of traditional spinning ratt or charka, motorized traditional ratt, motorized ratt or automatic spinning machine. Traditional ratt is the first contrivance developed for the spinning of coir fiber into yarn. A set of 2 wheels, one fitted to a stationary and the other to a movable stand, is employed in wheel spinning. The stationary stand is available with 2 spindle, 4 spindle or 6 spindles and a wheel. A handle for turning the wheel is inserted through the center of the wheel. The wheel and spindles are connected by an endless cord so that with the movement of the handle rotates the wheel fixed to its axis, the spindles could be set in motion. The framework of the other stand is provided with 3 wheels for its movement on the floor forward and backward. The movable wheel is fitted with 1 or 2 spindles which could be set in motion by rotation of a wheel, just as in the case of spindles on the stationary frame. In the actual working, the frames are arranged with the spindles facing each other. The body of the ratt may be of wood or metal. A group of 3 workers is required for spinning coir fiber on traditional ratt. 1 to rotate the wheel on the stationary stand and 2 to make the single stands which make up the 2-ply coir yarn. The slivers of the coir fiber are taken by 2 women, who keep the fiber in their armpits, make a loop with the small length of sliver. Short lengths of sliver drawn out by hand are hooked onto the notches of the spindles on the stationary stand and gives the sliver a uniform thickness. The spindles are there made to rotate by the anti-clockwise direction of the wheel on the stationary stand by 3rd women to impart the twist to the individual strands. as the wheel is being rotated, the two spinners deliver the fiber in the required thickness, walking backwards till the required length of strand is reached. The rotation of the wheel on the fixed stand is then stopped. The fiber ends of the single strands are joined together and connected to a notch of the spindle on the movable frame. A yarn guide consisting of a triangular piece of wooden plank with grooves on the two sides terminating with the angular end of the piece is then inserted in between the strands so that the individual strands pass through the grooves. The wheel on the movable frame is then rotated in the clockwise direction so as to impart a twist in a direction opposite to that in the single strands. This is synchronized with the careful and steady movement of the movable frame closer to the stationary frame to allow for the contraction in the length of the yarn in the process of doubling operation. In the process of making the 2-ply coir yarn, the spindles on the stationary stand is rotated to prevent loosening of the twist on the single strands in the course of imparting the doubling twist by the operation of the wheel on the movable frame. The yarn guide regulates the twist, prevents entanglement of the strands at the time of the doubling operation and binds the strands closer. When the length to be twisted becomes shorter, the movable frame is turned towards the stationary frame for a short distance. By now, the yarn guide would have reached the stationary frame. The turning of the wheels are stopped and the movable frame taken back to the original place. All the ends from stationary stand are then cut off and the yarn is tested for sufficiency of twist. The spun yarn in length of 15 to 25 meters is reeled into hanks. Depending on the quality of the yarn, the production on a ratt is estimated to about 10 to 18 kilos per day for 3 women for 8 hours. The diameter of the spindles and number of spindles, type and size of ratt vary at different coir producing center. The charkas are named according to the name of the place where yarn is produced. In the Wycombe area, the women can spin coir fiber by taking the strands by both the hands. They are keeping the fiber around their lap or abdomen. In the earlier days, wooden ratts were used for spinning coir fiber into yarn. It has been replaced now with ratts made of metal. Hand spinning. In the hand spinning, the fiber is rolled in between the palms with a clockwise twist into strands of short length of 15 cm to 23 cm. When sufficient lengths of these strands has been made, two of these strands are taken in hand together and made into yarn of 2-ply by giving a counter twist using both palms. The yarn is held in position and further pieces of short length of the yarn are added on the other till the required length of yarn for a knot is raised. The yarn is then drilled in the form of a hang and a knot is made at the end. It is estimated that one woman could produce 2.5 kilograms to 4 kilograms yarn per day on average. Hand-spun yarn has a soft twist, stronger and more uniform in thickness and twist than the ratt spun yarn.